Awesome. Okay, so I am seriously so excited to do this. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit. Brittany's been wanting to do it for a little bit for her team, so I'm glad we can just get it all out of the way. Um, this is going to be everything you need to know starting out on Instagram, how to start distributors on Instagram, pretty much all of the basics. So make sure you guys have your notes out because this is going to be absolutely amazing. So Brittany, if you want to unmute yourself and then just take it away, girl.
Yeah, I am so excited. You guys, I was seriously telling Mariah, like, Instagram is so exciting to me. Like, I love talking about it. So thank you so much for letting me do this for both of our teams and just kind of get all the info out because seriously, like, I love it so much. The first thing I want to say whenever, and I hope that you guys learn a lot. I hope that you learn something new. Whenever you are trying something new, make sure you're giving it enough time to actually see results from, okay? Like, if you learn something new tonight, don't just give it a day or two and then be like, oh, that doesn't work. Actually give it some time because just like anything else in this business, it's going to take consistency too. So also something else to add, she said get notes out and all of that. I'm probably going to talk so fast and so much. So definitely do that. So as far as Instagram goes, whenever you get started, the first thing I want you to do, whether you're brand new or if you haven't done it in a while, I want to sorry, the message in the chat totally distracted me, but I want to make sure that you have gone through and updated your bio. So in your bio, you want to have nothing that says it works, no distributor, nothing like that, like no green hearts. Keep that out of your bio because when people come to your page, whenever you like originally follow them or whatever, they're going to want to make sure that you're actually a real person and not just trying to sell them something, right? So make sure you keep all of that fresh and clean out of your bio. Also keep it out of your post, you guys. I'm going to kind of talk about posting a little bit in a second, but make sure that you're really using things that you are actually taking pictures of, like physically in your hand, you are the photographer for those pictures. Back to your bio though, I want to make sure that whenever you are kind of cleaning everything up, this is kind of where you're going to be talking or putting like what you're going to be posting about. Because in this, you want to make sure that you're not just posting about it works. It needs to be other stuff. Like what 5 to 7 things are you going to talk about whenever you're posting? Put those in your biography. And then whenever you kind of get like that mental brain thing where you're like, I don't know what to post about today. Like, I don't know what else to share. Go back to your biography and use one of those things that you've put in there because that's like the whole thing about your Instagram. Like that's what people, whenever they follow you, are expecting you to be posting about. So make sure you're doing that. Whether that is like you're a foodie or your dog or whatever, like be something other than just an It Works rep. That's basically what people want to see through Instagram anyways. What else? Okay, so that's like the basics of your bio. Also, you can make sure that like you've kind of updated your profile picture. If you're doing highlights or anything like that, update those as well. Just give your profile like a clean, fresh look. If you don't know what highlights are, basically, if you are posting anything to your story, then you can pretty much save it, put it under your highlight, and people can always go back and read it. I'm going to try to pull mine up really quick so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But basically, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's so bright. Okay. It's those little circles right there. So you can pretty much put whatever you want in it. At some point, I do recommend you putting your story in there. And it's just can be like a couple of slides that talk about why you started, what it's doing for you, things like that. Mine, for instance, oh my gosh, I hope that you guys can see it. It's just like little pictures showing like why I did what I did. Sorry, it's backwards. But anyway, go ahead, do that, put that story in there because even y'all, I posted my story in there like probably a year ago. I still get fresh people voting on it, new eyes on it. Like the views are constantly going up. So I highly recommend that. Speaking of stories, so I'm going to kind of talk about the 6 list that I do on Instagram. And you'll notice, you guys, it's a lot of things that you can also do on Facebook or that you should be doing on Facebook. So that's the cool thing. Even though Instagram is a little bit different, you can still take things like aspects of what we're doing on Instagram and apply them to your Facebook as well. So with stories, make sure that you, again, are not just posting business stuff in there. Post about your life. Even if you are posting about the business, like take a picture of you and your coffee, not just like someone else's generated story graphic, because people want to see you. And 9 times out of 10, they've already seen that story graphic somewhere else. It's okay to throw those in sometimes, but definitely making sure that you're being more you and more personable, because the more people that get to know you versus like a product label, a cleanse bottle, the more they're going to fall in love with you and trust you, whether it's in, a weight loss journey or a business journey. So just being yourself is really the number one thing that I can say about posting or stories. But with stories, you kind of get more of a variety of things that you can do. I don't know how many of you guys have actually looked at the stories and the features, but you can ask polls, you can have people drop questions, you can do all kinds of things. You can put music on it. So have fun, get creative, and make sure that you're actually utilizing those options. Even for story polls and things like that, it's not always about who wants to lose weight. You can be what's your favorite movie, The Grinch or The Elf? Be you, let people interact with you and actually be a part of your page, because people always want to give their opinions, right? So how do you do polls? Okay, so if you go to your, sorry guys, my password is super long. That's probably a bad idea. But if you go to your Instagram and go to add a story, okay, so there is this little square right here. If you click on that, it gives you all of the options. So there's a poll option, a story option, music. You can add GIFs to it. Just really get creative and have fun. Instagram is supposed to be fun, right? You're supposed to show your personality. So this allows you to do that and get creative with other people too. So I definitely recommend that. Someone on my team asked how to basically keep up with story polls and things like that. I don't have one open right now, but typically if you swipe up, it will show you everyone who voted. You can also go back to your story archive. So if you click, oh my gosh, if you click this button right here, it says story archive. So you can go directly to that. And anytime that you've ever put a poll up or anything, you can click on it and it will re-show you who viewed and voted on your story. So if you forget and lose track of the 24-hour timeline or whatever, you can go back and see who actually did vote on it. Did anyone have any questions about stories or anything like that?
I'm going to add really quick with stories. Guys, don't overcomplicate it. One amazing tool to use in your stories is videos, okay? And so the way I do it, I got it from Jade Hooper because I tried all the fancy ways to make the cute little videos and slow them down or speed them up. Y'all, I ain't got time. I don't know what I'm doing. So literally, Snapchat. You start the video, swipe over, hands-free, you make your videos, speed it up right there, and that's a really awesome way to get your face in front of people, because like she was saying, you want your stories, your posts, whatever that is, to be you. And so the more you're putting yourself out there, whether it's you making your coffee or you taking your hair, skin, and nails, or you talking about how your kid is acting like a heathen today, whatever it is, people want to see you. So that was a really quick one about stories. That was the one to throw in there.
Yeah, and just like she said, I try to do videos. Yeah, I use Cut Story too. Haley, I'm not really big on lives. I do try to do them occasionally, but I'm not super big on them. I prefer story or videos in my stories. And just like Mariah said, that's a really, really great way to be able to talk about, whether it's products or the business. I just go in there and try to do 2 to 3 slides of whatever it is that I'm talking about. Obviously, I like to talk a lot, so sometimes that goes overboard. But generally, 2 to 3 slides is what gets people's attention and keeps people's attention. So really quickly before I get into the rest of the 6 list, I want to talk about the Instagram algorithm. And that's because a lot of people don't really understand how it works or why it works or whatever the case may be. So Instagram's algorithm works in 3 different ways. So the first way is obviously going to be interaction. So who are you interacting with? Who are you sending messages to? Who is interacting back with you? Like Instagram is going to pick up on all of these cues, and it's going to basically put whoever's post that you're interacting with into your feed and yours into theirs. So that is just one way. And I think that that is one way that like people focus the most on, but there's 2 other ways, you guys. So the second way is it reacts based on past behavior. So if you have just recently started the business, or maybe you have been in for a bit, but you aren't necessarily using your time to be income producing, you're like scrolling a lot, maybe you follow meme pages, whatever the case may be, if you are interacting with those types of pages, that is the type of post that's going to show up in your feed. And I hope that you guys know that interacting is one part of our 6 list. So you don't want to be interacting with a whole bunch of meme pages and things like that. You want to be interacting with real people. So if you have been doing that, change it up now, because that is part of Instagram's algorithm. The third part is consistency. Shocker, just like everything else, Instagram is all about consistency. So if you decide to pick, that you're going to post 3 times a day, you better stick to posting 3 times a day, because whenever you quit, Instagram is going to notice that and it's going to bump you all the way back. Now, what number you pick to post is totally up to you. You're welcome to try whatever you'd like. For me, I typically post 1 time a day because I don't want it to all be about it works. I will post 2 times a day, every couple of days, just so I can get some of me and my life in there. But really, you want to make sure that you're interacting with the people who you would want on your team, and being consistent in whatever number you choose. And if you do those things, then that's really, really going to help your Instagram algorithm. So aside from that, I'm going to go back to the 6 list. And I think the biggest thing that people kind of don't know what to do is like, how do you grow it? Like, how do you grow the people who are actually viewing and following you and things like that? Just like everything else, you guys, it's going to be about consistency. So if you are brand new and you haven't been on Instagram for a while, or like maybe you literally just started an Instagram, that was me, then it's going to take some time to grow your following. And that's okay. It's totally normal. So whenever you are following people, there's a couple of different ways to do it. The easiest way, in my opinion, is by following likers. So if you are scrolling through Instagram and you see that Sarah posted a picture, Sarah has 100 likes, you click on her likers, then you know that those people were very recently active. And if they follow you, then they're probably going to be active to see your stuff and like your stuff. So that's like a really, really, really easy way, because you can literally just go down and follow all of the people. That is what I do when I'm kind of on a time crunch, because even when we're busy, we still want to make sure that we're following people to grow our network. The second way, and this is probably how you're going to find more people like you, which is what you want as well, is through hashtags. So if you go down here, oh my gosh, I don't know how like these blogger people do it, because that is ridiculous. You click on this little magnifying glass, then you can type in whatever you want up here. So you can do hashtag twin mom, hashtag wedding planning, hashtag lake life, like whatever it is that you do, put it in there and then just go follow people that have done those hashtags before. Because what happens is whenever you put that into the magnifying glass, every single thing that everyone, like every hashtag that they've used is going to show up. So you can follow the people that basically have similar interests, which is going to be really, really good whenever you're posting about you, because they're going to relate to you if y'all have that same similar interest, right? So you can follow likers, you can search by hashtags, you can type in names. So I don't know how much you guys believe in like being spoken to or whatever, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I just heard like Kate. So I'm going to go type in Kate and follow all the Kates. And I'm just going to fully believe that Kate is going to be my next diamond, right? So I do that sometimes. You can also search by location. So one of my goals for 2020 is to have 10 distributors in every state. Sorry, this is like totally distracting me. Do I follow the people who use the hashtag likers there as well? So if you go to, let me go to it. So I'm just gonna type in hashtag twin mom. Okay, so you guys can see, I literally just typed it at the top, right? So if you click on it, these are all the posts that people have ever used that hashtag for. So if you click on it, you can follow them. Does that make sense? Like you see the follow option? I hope that helped. But yeah, you can do that with any hashtag. As far as the location, I don't know if you guys know, but there is a report in eSuite that shows you like where your distributors are, where they're located. So for me, I have like North Dakota, South Dakota, places like that I need more people because I want to reach that goal of 10 distributors in every state. So what you can do is go to Google, and guys, this is probably like the most confusing part. So if you have any questions, put them below. I'll try to get to them or whatever, or I'll get back with Mariah or whatever the case may be. But if you go to Google and type in like boutiques in wherever you're looking for, or restaurants in, let's say, Florida, or like if you are looking for someone in Florida, go to Disney World, like use those hashtags or like find those boutique names and then go follow the people who are following that boutique. Does that make sense? I hope so. So you can do it that way. And then the last way that I like to do is just by interacting through the explore page. And I do this because if you guys have been trying to grow your following for a while, then you probably realize that your following ratio and your like follower ratio gets a little bit unbalanced. So what I'll do is I'll go right back to that search, the little magnifying glass right here, and I'll click on just the pictures and I'll just interact with all these people, but I don't follow them. And I do that because if I'm interacting with them, then basically they have the option to either follow me or not. So if they follow me, then I'll follow them back. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So that just kind of helps if you are running into that problem of having like so many more people that you're following versus following you back. It kind of helps even it out just a little bit. So that was a lot on following. No, I'm not private. I was though until I hit 5,000 followers. So if you're not there yet, I'd recommend staying private just because it's going to help more people to follow you. But after that, I love being public. I actually have a business account. But there is another new one. I have not even gotten into that yet. I just do the public business. But as far as the 6 list, the next thing is interacting. So I make sure that I'm interacting on Instagram as well. I just told you guys that I interact on the Explore tab. So I'll do that for about 10 minutes. And then I will, sorry, my son. What? No, go to bed. I'll be in there in a minute. Sorry, y'all. So the other 10 minutes that I spend interacting, I do with people that I'm already following. So making sure that I am interacting with the new people, but also people that are already in my network, because I feel like that's super important. So if you go to, oh my gosh, I hate this. If you click following, and mine's probably going to take just a minute because I'm following a lot of people. But you hit this little arrow option. You see the double arrows down here? If you click that, then you can sort by latest followed. And that just basically shows you who you followed the most recent. So if you go and interact with those people, they'll likely follow you back. So I interact, like I said, with the Explore tab and with that following option. Also, while I'm interacting is whenever I am unfollowing too and I'm messaging. So I kind of try to do everything all at once. As I am interacting, if I see a profile that hasn't been active for a while or isn't really what I'm looking for on my team, maybe they post a lot of negativity, things like that, I'll go ahead and unfollow them. But if I see someone who I would want on my team or whatever the case may be, I will send them a message that basically asks them to host a post for me on Instagram. But I ask them to post about distributors. So let me see if this works. Okay, so that's what I send. And it basically gives them the option to either tell me that they're interested or they'll go ahead and do the post for me. And the post that I have them put in my stories is just something that I made on Over. I'll show that to you guys as well. Okay, so it's just this image. Super simple. I just have them put this in my story and I have them text me. Like anyone who's interested will send me the text. So that is what I do for Instagram as far as host to post. I have them post about the opportunity, and then on Facebook I have people post about the products. I know that this is a lot of information, you guys. Does anyone have any questions? Or Mariah, do you want me to cover anything else like a little bit more? No? Okay, cool. So that's kind of super like self-explanatory as far as the message goes. I just send it to anyone who I think would be a good fit. And then either, like I said, they're going to tell me that they're interested or they're going to post for me. That's really all I message for on Instagram as well. I used to message for like product models and all that, but I just stick to this, and it's very, very simple. It's also really easy to teach my team because like we literally just do distributor hosted posts on Instagram and product hosted posts on Facebook. So it just keeps it really simple. I think that, okay. So following up, hope that you guys know about following up, whether it is on Facebook or Instagram, but I like to flag my potentials. So let me just pick somebody random. Okay. So, if you see this little flag up here, this one is black because I flagged it. So basically anyone who is interested, somewhat interested, whatever, I will flag that message. And all you have to do is click the flag. It's super simple. And then if you click this right here, the three little dots or whatever, it gives you the option to go to inbox, unread, or flagged. So if you clicked flag, it shows you every single message that you have ever flagged. So it's a super, super easy way to follow up. Like if we have a distributor promotion or whatever, like all of my potentials from Instagram are right here. I do write them down as well, but it's a really easy way. Like if you're traveling or whatever, to have everything kind of in one spot. And I just follow up the same way. I'm sure that Mariah has told you guys to follow up on Facebook. I don't think so. I think it's everyone. So the last thing really that I wanted to talk about was hosting. It's a soft rollout, so some of you guys might not have it, but they are working to get it on all the accounts.
I'm going to interrupt you really quick. So what I do to follow up, because I don't have a flag. So if you're a person who is not able to flag messages, what I've been doing is if you, okay, so I'm going to use, if I can find one. So when you go to their messages or whatever, you just go to their page, pull up a picture on their page and hit this button, and you can save it. And you can just make a collection of like PLCs. And that'll take you right back to their page, so you still have them in an organized location saved on Instagram.
Such a good idea. I'm writing that down. Okay, so as far as posting, quality is really, really, really going to be important here, because if you go to someone's Instagram or they're coming to yours, like either way, you have like 5 seconds to decide if you're going to follow someone or not, right? So if they come to your profile and they see that your bio looks awesome, like you look fun or whatever, like you're trying to, like whatever image you're trying to have, your pictures are fun, like they want to follow you because you're like posting things that are interesting, then they're going to follow you because of that. So my number one thing for having that good quality is a preset. You guys, if you do not have a preset yet, get one, because it will change your life. It's like however you buy one, you can get them through Etsy. You can get them, they're all over Instagram and Facebook now because everyone wants to be a blogger. You can make your own, like however you get one, just get one. Then you use the Lightroom app. So it's this top app right here. It's free. I'm just going to show you an example of how easy it is. Okay, so this is a picture that I posted yesterday. Okay, that's without a preset. That's like literally one click of a button. Before, after. Before, after. So easy. It took me like 2 seconds. So if you don't know about presets, you don't know how to make one, you don't know how to buy one, get with somebody because they are amazing. And it's also going to give your Instagram like a flowing look. It's going to look the same. You're going to have kind of a theme, but it really takes no effort at all. And it changes the game for your pictures, for your Instagram, everything. Yes, literally a game changer. I'm actually about to start giving my newbies a free one, because you can, once you buy one, you can share it like 5 times. I'm not technologically there, which is, I don't know, it's, this business has helped me do that a lot, but I have to figure out how to do it. And then you can actually share presets with people, which is super cool. But yeah, I mean, just making sure that you have a good picture, and the preset's going to help it. Also, taking pictures in natural light is going to help. So either in front of a window, in front of a door, and like outside, somewhere like that, it's going to really change the game for you to already have that good lighting, and then adding the preset on top of it, like people are going to think that you're a photographer. It's amazing. So with your good picture, you want to have some good wording too. So making sure that you are talking about the opportunity. Talk about that like at least every other day at minimum. Sometimes I will skip a day, like I said earlier, because I don't want to have only it work stuff on my Instagram. So sometimes I will switch it up and do just like a personal post, because in my opinion, really less is more on Instagram as far as posting and with stories. You just want to be consistent in whatever number you are setting yourself to do. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I know I said a lot. So if you guys have any questions or anything else you want me to cover, just let me know.
So I would like you to go over, so say you launch a new distributor and this girl only wants to work on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to launch her? Because I know, especially with my team, we are 99% on Facebook, so a lot of things parallel. But it also can seem intimidating when you're still new and yourself. So what are some of the things that you do when you've got a new distributor straight out the gate? Like, are you having them put in the same kind of initial post? Are you having them message a dirt list on Instagram? Like, how are you kind of launching them there?
So I really do it the same way as Facebook. I have all of my girls, as soon as they get started, I have them post like a suspenseful post almost. I used to have people share their stories and all of that, but now I just think it works better if you post something that's just like, I'm super excited. I finally did something that is going to change my life. Like, I'm super excited about it. Who can guess what it is? So I have them do that on both Instagram and Facebook with a picture of themselves, just because we know pictures of us get more interaction, they get more engagement, all of that. So that's how you want to be posting the majority of the time. But I have them do that. And then the next thing I always do is host a post. So I'll do that with both Instagram and Facebook, and I just have them send that simple message. If someone is like super new to Instagram though, and they have not built a good following, or like a bigger following, I will have them really, really, really focus on that before posting too much. Does that kind of answer your question, or do you want me to go?
That was good. That was awesome. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions? I know I'm so thankful for you taking time with Christmas Eve being tomorrow. All of you guys who hopped on, like, thank you guys so much. And thank you so much, Brittany, for taking time out of the holidays to hop on here and share. So I don't want to take too much more of your time. If you guys do have questions, we both would love to go ahead and have her answer these. But if not, we're also going to let her go hang out with her. So I don't think, unless someone's got a super long question that's taking them forever to write,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the case. I think we're good. So this was absolutely amazing again. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.